Awesome. Welcome to Scatterbrained, a weekly subpod of mind controllers. I'm your host, Brandon Craw, and we're once again joined by a full house. Today we got Joe Moreno.
Hey there.
And then we got Brandon Couture.
That's me.
And once again, we are blessed by the presence of memorandums, or memo.
Hey, everybody.
I saw you shaking your head right there. You were like, I do not like that introduction. Don't worry, I won't do that again. Awesome, guys. Well, it's great to have everyone back in here again. I had a lot of fun with the fantasy draft. Memo, you already, I know the points haven't scored quite yet, but you're slated for 82. You're going to get that early lead and jumpstart on the rest of us. So I guess we'll see what happens. I feel like a lot of stuff I think one thing from everyone's board is releasing in February. So we'll see what this looks like at the end. But before we dive into the video games, wanted to ask y'all a question that I asked the chat and Twitch earlier, a couple days ago maybe. Joe was there for it. What do you guys think is the best fast food? What is your go-to fast food restaurant? I don't remember what I said, but I remember Joe's response. Joe, what was it?
Mine was Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box. And what's your go-to order there?
Usually a sourdough Jack. I liked when it was a little cheaper, but now it's not so cheap.
Okay.
But,
yeah,
sourdough Jack goes hard.
For sure. I feel like for me, it might be In-N-Out still for the ratio of how much you are paying to the quality of what you're getting. And because a double cheeseburger there is a double animal style is relatively cheap compared to McDonald's without now McDonald's is still pretty cheap, but I feel like you get a better quality burger there.
McDonald's has been getting more expensive recently. I don't know about that.
Yeah. That's true. I have to
have a $1 menu. That was less than 10 years ago.
Aren't they doing a throwback to the $1 menu, calling it just the McValue menu with
they've had the value menu for a sec. And
oh, really? They're just rebranding it with John Cena or something?
It's not even value. It's $2 a sandwich as opposed to one. Markup.
Yeah, that ain't value. We don't like those numbers.
No.
What about y'all? What's your go-to fast food spot?
Yeah, I was going to say Jack in the Box too.
Nice.
Oh, yeah?
The ultimate cheeseburger, just a quick combo filling. That's always been my go-to.
Hell yeah.
I'm a kava enjoyer.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. We said
bowl.
Yeah, we all had these greasy ass burgers and you're super healthy.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's nice because Kava gives a discount to first responders, so I go there on shift probably 3-4 times a month. About.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dog.
It's half off too, which is great.
Yeah, I think that was the thing that put me that kept me from Kava is the price. So if you got half off,
yeah,
that's sick. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, before we dive too deep into the video games, just want to remind everyone to like and subscribe to the podcast. It really helps us out with the algorithm, and be sure to rate and review it. Cool, guys. So I haven't even looked at those documents that I put together. I don't feel like what I've been playing has been too crazy. I feel like I've been a little busy with some other stuff, so I haven't had too much of a chance to jump onto video games. But what's everyone else been playing lately? I know we jumped into Marvel Rivals the other night, and that was pretty fun. But yeah. What else you guys have checked out, have heard about, been reading about?
Who wants to go first?
I'll jump in. So there's a game called Void Crew that I've been playing with a bunch of friends. Basically, you're all different roles on a spaceship. One person's the pilot, one person's the engineer, a gunner, and then somebody that does away missions. And it's roguelite in that you do a run, you cash out, you get your rewards, and then you do another run. Indie game, it was on sale with the Steam sale. It just launched 1.0. It's been a lot of fun. Great game to play with friends if you can get a squad of 3 to 4 people.
Nice.
It's like a 3D Among Us, right? Is that the one where you
No. Oh, you're thinking of Unfortunate Spacemen.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that is Among Us. Void Crew isn't so much like that. It's almost as if you guys have heard of the game FTL. It's like you're one of the dudes in FTL just on your ship.
Oh, okay. Damn. Yeah, this gameplay loop seems pretty fun. It's I see it's similar to Lethal Company, or somebody said that.
It's similar to Lethal Company, similar to certainly.
Yeah, did anybody play Lethal Company here? I know I did for a bit. Yeah. Right. Well, yeah. I guess that makes sense because it was a Steam only thing or a PC only thing. And Memo, you just got the Steam Deck. Joe, we're still working on trying to get you.
Yeah, I'm more like single player, to be honest. More RPGs, anyways.
For sure. Yeah. I once again, like this game, I love the idea of like these co-op roguelite games. That sounds totally up my alley. Yeah, I'm surprised I hadn't heard of this one before. How did you find it?
My buddy has his ear very close to the ground with like indie releases like this.
Cool.
And he's been following it since like early access. And when it launched, I picked it up on the Steam sale.
Hell yeah. Damn, I know. See, it's $25 right now. So hopefully that sale was like a lot nicer.
I mean, it wasn't like crazy. I think it was like 18 or something on Steam.
Oh, okay.
But for let me double check. 30 hours, $18. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You get your money's worth there.
Yeah, that was my view with Lethal Company because that was like $5.
Yeah.
Like as long as I get like a good couple of laughs out of it, it's worth the $5. Ended up getting a few more than a couple, but yeah.
Totally. I know. That gameplay loop was very rough for me. Like, I don't think I got past the first. There was like these check marks where you had to acquire a certain amount of money before you could like move on to the next set of planets. And if you didn't get that money, then you lose and you have to start the whole run over. And it's not like a rogue light where stuff carries. I don't remember there being stuff carrying over. Maybe you do.
There's no carryover in that game.
Yeah. So it's literally just like your knowledge of how to optimize a run and get further on. And I think I played it a lot for like 1 week with friends and we could not get past that first like checkpoint. We just sucked at it.
Yeah, the secret is to go to like a middle tier planet once you're comfortable enough with the game because you get a lot more loot from.
Okay, yeah, the resources you could salvage and. Yeah.
But the planets are harder and more things to kill you and all that.
Totally. I heard that they just dropped a pretty big update and like Lethal Company did and added a bunch of new monsters and planets and biomes and stuff. So I was like, maybe I'll check that out again. I don't know. Yeah, well, like what you said, it was a good time for laughs. So like just crazy hilarious shit just will pop out of nowhere. And put you in these like stupid scenarios where you're running for your life from this giant who's just chasing you and there's nothing you could do but just kind of like jump while you're holding something.
Proximity in-game voice chat is a great way to make your game very funny.
Oh yeah, totally. I know. That was another bonus. So cool. Yeah, I'm glad you're having some fun with Void Crew. I put it on my wish list. I'll check it out whenever I can. Yeah, I have also been wanting to play Warhammer Space Marines 2 still. I know. Yeah, that's another one, Yeah, I remember you saying you love that one and it's been on my mind since. I haven't seen it dip too low in a sale, like it's low enough for me to snag it
for a while.
Yeah.
My best guess. Maybe probably like a year anniversary, it might drop like 35% maybe, but because it's a AAA game. AAA games
take a while.
They do their best not to depreciate their value unless they're Justice League kill the
Suicide Squad kill the Justice League.
Justice League.
Yeah.
That game was what, $3 on the Steam sale or something like that. 95% off.
Oh my god. Yeah. Did you guys see they just recently retconned? I guess like spoilers for Suicide Squad. Did anyone here play it? First off? No. Okay, yeah, me neither.
It's on PS Plus now.
Hey.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, that makes sense. They really just want to get anybody to play their game. I guess they don't want another Concord situation there. I know that was Sony, but yeah, I saw that. I think in somewhere in the story for Suicide Squad game, once again, spoilers for it, and I've only heard this through people talking about it online. I haven't played it myself. Batman dies at some point in that story, and then they just errated that like today. I think some developer came out and said, no, actually that was just a clone of Batman, so the real Bruce Wayne is somewhere else and he's safe. It was just like, all right, dog, yeah, for sure. I heard some people love that game. I'm not too sure why, but maybe if the price is right, I'll check it out. I don't know. It doesn't feel. Yeah.
Yeah, not to get into spoiler territory, but I know they had to, they killed him off. And it's kind of with the timing of Kevin Conroy's passing and that being the last time he voiced Batman, it kind of left a bad taste in people's mouths with that one, because you kind of had to, the gameplay, you kill the Justice League, so you had to kill him. So I feel like they had no choice but to retcon it. Plus, it is supposed to be set in the Arkham universe. So all that time you spent with that Arkham Knight Batman throughout the whole Arkham series, that's the Batman that ended up. So they kind of dug themselves into a very deep hole, and just the final cutscene had to save it. I know they tried to do like again, spoilers, but they tried to do like an end credit scene where they're kind of playing homage to Batman and Kevin Conroy, but they just couldn't let him go out like that. Because I mean, you were kind of killing him. You went to you're a bad guy. You spend 30 minutes killing him, and yeah, they just had to.
Damn. Do you think the devs were just like, oh fuck, once they Kevin Conroy's like passing was announced, like they probably saw this coming a mile away and it was just too late to really change anything? Or I forget, what were the timeline of events there?
I think he did pass away before the game came out, but he had already recorded his lines, and it was already deep in development. I think they just missed the mark with the popularity of Suicide Squad. It kind of came out at the wrong time. I don't think people were cheering on for the Suicide Squad as much as they were when the movies were out. I feel like that kind of gave them a little bit of popularity, but the game came out a little bit too late, and they took a very big risk by killing off a well-known Batman. Could have just been any other Batman, especially because the game delves in multiverses, but they decided to set it in the Arkham universe.
Oh shit! As we're talking about this, 4 hours ago, I see posted here, Episode 8 is the final update to Suicide Squad game. The game will remain playable in offline mode, which was just released for players. So
what?
They're ending support for the game as we're talking about it. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah. It's only been out for like a year, right? And when did it release?
Yeah. What a loss of money for that studio.
Yeah, I wonder what's worse, their budget deficit or not budget deficit, their like loss of revenue, or the Marvel Avengers loss between like cost to create game and cost returned. Oh man, that game, I really wanted to love it more. I played a lot of Marvel's Avengers, but I didn't. It just wasn't that great. And then Spider-Man came out, and that didn't feel good either. Memo, we were talking about it, right? Like when that game came out.
Yeah, it's just the misuse of the characters. Like, I feel like they're afraid to do things, but then again, I guess same thing. Suicide Squad, they took a risk, and it didn't work for them either. But it's really hard to find that mark. I feel Marvel Rivals is on a good path right now, but
absolutely.
But
yeah, but it's all
just tough.
I know the looter hero action adventure based, like mission based games for some reason were super popular. It feels like 5 years, or not even that popular, but it's like the devs really wanted to make one of those types of games, especially for superhero stuff. And yeah, now we're seeing no one really wanted that to begin with.
Wow, that's crazy. Marvel Rivals currently has more players on Steam as we speak than CS2, which is crazy. Because Counter-Strike historically is like always number one, unless there's like a really hot new release. And Marvel Rivals, month into its life cycle, is holding over CS2.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. What's that count at? Or what's that number
close,
right now?
Admittedly, Marvel Rivals is 452,000. CS2 is 442,000. So
452,000.
So 10,000 more players than CS2.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and that's just a team, right?
Yeah.
We also have Xbox and PlayStation gamers.
Yeah. Damn. So it's probably putting up higher numbers than CS2 is free as well. Then.
CS2 is free, yeah.
Okay.
And Counter-Strike has been popular since the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I played it with my friends. Yeah. So hey, it's been around for a while.
Iconic levels in video games. Dust.
I love Dust. Dust 2, baby.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Marvel Rivals going strong.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun game. I do really enjoy it though. All right, Memo, what you been playing?
Yeah, I've been jumping in here and there from Marvel Rivals, new update. I'm going to keep giving it praise because they even announced that they're going to release a new character or characters every 1.5 months. I mean, that's what we want, we want to see our favorites. They gave us a good mix of characters, and now everybody's waiting. I'm sure people are waiting. When's Deadpool going to come out? When's the most obscure Pokemon? The most obscure Marvel rival going to come out?
Coming to Marvel Rivals, goddammit.
Put Typhlosion in Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
team up with Thor.
Yeah, they're doing the right thing right now. So
Pikachu versus Thor. Who comes out on top? Yeah, a god or an electric mouse. Yeah, I totally agree with you about Marvel Rivals. It feels like they saw the failure of Overwatch 2 like from a distance as they were developing it, and they were just like, yeah, we can't do that. We got to be better than this. Yeah. So it feels better. I mean, it's much more fun to play.
Like, I don't know the exact number, but it feels like more heroes than Overwatch 2 even had on launch. And Overwatch 2 had all the heroes from 1. And then they already added 2. They're adding 2. Like you said, it's a very good trajectory for the game already.
I think it opened with 33 characters. Rough estimate of 30. Yeah, right now we hit 35, pending 2 more. So
I see right now there were 21 heroes for Overwatch 2's launch.
Yeah, it had more. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah, considering that game had a lot of dev time.
Yeah, and Overwatch 1 ended with 32. So they didn't even carry them all over.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
At least not at launch, not immediately at launch. According to this Overwatch 2 subreddit post.
Sure. Yeah, Overwatch 2 apologists seething right now as Marvel Rivals takes their spot.
I felt like I got really into Overwatch 1. Did everybody else? Did y'all play that too?
No,
a lot? No. Yeah. Once again, just mostly because it wasn't in the RPG realm and it was a multiplayer based, I'm assuming. Joe?
Yeah, I don't really care for multiplayer. Yeah. I'll just say it here.
Yeah, I get you.
It's a fair take. Multiplayer can be toxic. I played League for many years.
And you had to go to therapy for it too. We know. Yeah. Would you be willing, Joe, then to play Marvel Rivals with us and forego them?
I mean, I did give it a shot this week.
Okay.
So I gave it a couple matches, but then hop back into fighting games. So yeah. I'll be down to play some Marvel Rivals whenever.
It's funny you say you don't really care about multiplayer games, but I feel like you play one of the hardest genre of multiplayer games, and that's just like a fighting game. I don't know. I find them challenging, so that's why I view them as hard. Yeah. Is there some reason why you feel like you could get into the fighting game multiplayer online stuff, but then like an FPS, you're like, nah, fuck that?
I think for me, it's just the one-on-one nature of it, right? And then you could just do cool shit on screen too. Just hit the button, do some cool shit. That's what does it for me, right? And then the whole competitions that happen throughout the year, just watching them, getting hyped for them, Evo announcements, all that stuff. I really got into it in the last 2 years because fighting games wasn't really my thing.
Yeah.
Until, like about maybe 2 years ago, I really got into it.
Right. Damn. Okay. And yeah, now you're fighting game master. I cannot beat you.
I wish.
Whenever you play against me, you can fulfill that dream because I can't do shit against you. Memo, was there anything else that you were hopping in other than Marvel Rivals?
I actually got early access to Dynasty Warriors, the Origins, so nice. I figured it was on my list. So give it I didn't get early access. I got the where you can play early.
Okay. I was like, damn, how'd you get an insider code? What the hell? Okay. Yeah.
So I got the pack where you get it like 3 days early. So been playing that, no spoilers yet, but definitely good. It's up there. They've
really enjoy it
on their gameplay. So
my buddy was saying that the spear has a very satisfying parry. I don't know if you've played around with that. Is that true?
Yeah. I mean, the combat just feels.
There you go.
It's like exactly what it was, and then more. What else would you want from a game? It's just like. Nice. And those you have like a little chance to go solo 1-on-1 for a sec, and that's just like
whoa,
damn, yeah. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
That sounds really fun. I've never really gotten too much into a Dynasty Warriors game, or really Musou games for that matter. Is there any sort of RPG-ish aspect with like talent points or skill points or level up or anything like that?
So for the ones that I've played, it's like you can master different weapons and then power them up, and as you go, you unlock like further combos. I mean, the combos are just like square, 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 triangle. But you know, it's a button masher. It's satisfying to, you know, knock out 500, 600 on one hit. It's definitely one of those games you could just play while doing something or not being too much into it. Hyrule Warriors, probably one of my favorites. I still go back to that.
Totally.
So in terms of RPG, not necessarily. It's just, you know, different characters, a whole bunch of characters, whole bunch of weapons, and just, you know, mash that button.
Yeah. That summarizes that genre and game very well. Just mash that button. Destroy everything in your path. That's cool, man. Yeah, no, it seems like a fun time. Was anybody else going to pick this one up right now, or maybe sometime down the line? It's like a maybe for me right now, mostly because I'm interested in it, but I want to save my money for some other games coming out in February right now.
Yeah.
I usually grab them when there's like a coat of Nintendo paint on them. So Fire Emblem, right?
Like a little.
Right, that's the only time I'll be playing like a Dynasty Warriors game.
But you enjoy the gameplay loop? Or do you feel like you mostly just want more of that game? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
For the most part, like 20, 30 hours, like, you know, like I'll give it that much. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. And then I'll put it down and then like move on. I won't put like, because I know like the Legend of Zelda one, the one that came out on Wii U and then re-released on Switch. And I think there was a 3DS version as well. You could put hundreds of hours into it.
Yeah.
I do know.
That's what I've heard. Cool.
Yeah, if you care about the universe, that game just excels. Like they did such a good job with Hyrule Warriors. I think like that's such a like they played homage to all the games. Like if you care about the universe and that type of gameplay, like I'm down. I agree with Joe. Paint it with anything, Fire Emblem, more time with the characters, more time with Legend of Zelda characters, as minor as major as they come. They're you know, that's
you enjoy having more time with it.
Yeah, been hoping for more Nintendo paints, you know, like Pokemon, Smash Brothers. Exactly.
Give me a Pokemon one. Either day one.
I would love if they did like a Legends Musou type thing. Like that would be kind of sick. Right on, like with your Rapidash or Arcanine, and I don't know. Yeah. Just destroying some shit. That would be wild. Cool. I'm glad you've been having a good time with it. Joe, what you been playing?
So I finished up Romancing Saga 2 a while back.
Oh, okay.
But I finished it up because that was something I was struggling through because I didn't really get the RPG. Like the issue was that the quests, you're allowed to go like take them on at any time, right? And then certain quests you can only take on like hundreds of years later because it spans different generations. And so even the final boss, you still have the final boss, right? But the final boss that is before the final boss can be any of the 7 like heroes that you're tasked to defeat. And so it could be like so it's like it gives you choice, right? In a way, it's like, how do you want to approach this? You know, which villains or heroes do you want to take out first? And it took me 45 hours to beat. It was really fun. I really liked it at the end. Now I'm like listening to the battle theme, you know, trying to see if there's any art prints out there because it's a Square Enix game and their art, like for Final Fantasy, so beautiful, so nice. And I can't really find much. So it's very niche, but I mean, I had so much fun with it at the end. I was talking to you about a super boss at the end of the game that was way tougher than the regular final boss, where what happened was, you know, I made it to the super boss, got defeated, and I was like, I don't really need to beat it. So I went to go put gas in the car, kind of just take some time. And like 30 minutes later, I'm like, no, I need to beat this. So I go and research what are like the best builds, right? How can I, you know, essentially beat the boss? And it took me like 4 or 5 tries, but I did it. And I was super happy with that. So I was like, you know what? This game did something right because I actually really enjoyed it by the end.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Because I felt like when we first chatted about it, you weren't quite too hot on it. Like you're like, yeah, it's just another RPG you're going to try and get through because you bought it. But it sounds like where it ended, at least for you, was better than where it began or when you began with it.
And I think later generations, you inherit like the skill levels, the weapon levels, and all the skills that you get from other generations. So your last character has like all these skills and points in their weapons. And this is not a game where you're leveling up like level 1 to level 99. You're just leveling up the weapon skills the whole time. So the way you upgrade yourself is equipment. right? The skills you use. So it's a little bit more strategic than usual. Kind of like Final Fantasy 2. If you played that, it's like there are no level ups there. So, but it was really fun. I enjoyed it. You know, the remake is great. You know, because I went back and looked at the original like SNES version and the PlayStation 1 version as well. And yeah, they're pretty old. But this one, I like it. The thing with the graphics is that it looks like it's a mobile game, but I'm okay with that, right? Because it's Romancing Saga. I'm sure they don't have a huge budget. I mean, it is Square Enix, but whatever. Nobody ever talks about Romancing. I've never heard anyone talk about this. So this is like...
I've literally never heard of this until you talked about it.
Yeah,
exactly. And that was just like, oh, okay, I didn't know this existed.
Yeah.
And this is a franchise that they've been working on for like decades at this point.
Totally. That's kind of crazy that it has existed this long. And I'm wondering what the audience was, or like, how did they gauge to do a remake of this? Like, why now, and why? Yeah, just have a lot of questions as to why this came up.
I mean, it's Square Enix. We got a remake of Chocobo Racing years ago. And that's super niche.
Yeah, I think the question Square Enix asks is why not?
Yeah, for real. I mean, you would think that they wouldn't need... Well, I was going to say, you would think that they wouldn't need the money because they probably pull in a shit ton from anything in their Final Fantasy franchise. Maybe because they're pulling in so much, they have the freedom to remake something. And like, maybe this director of the remake really enjoyed the Romancing Saga and was just like, you know what, let me try to give this another shot. Let me try to like bring this to a new generation of players. So maybe that was the reason. And maybe I just answered my own question right now. So
sometimes we do that, right?
I know.
But other than that, Stalker 2, I think I've been talking to you about it.
Yeah.
I finally pushed through where I actually have decent weapons now. So I'm not running away, running out of ammo left and right. So now I can actually fight back.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue is that the enemies are always going to see you first. That's what I feel, right? You can be sneaking around and like across the map, the dogs will see you, or someone with a sniper rifle will see you.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of a pain.
So frustrating.
Yeah.
I know. I played it for like 2 hours, and within that hour I was like, it was nighttime, I was sneaking through some place, I was hiding behind rocks because I saw the enemies like from a distance, but I don't know, like, what is the technique for the sneak there? Like, they spotted me and instantly.
And nighttime is the worst. It's so dark.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? So I don't know. I might try to hop into that game again and try it out, but more power to you for for getting through it. Has anyone else played Stalker 2 or any of the Stalker games?
I played a little bit of Shadows of Chernobyl. Yeah, right? Stalker Shadows of Chernobyl?
Mm-hmm. I think that was one of them.
Yeah. I think that was like 1.5.
Of the first one.
But maybe the first one. I tried playing it because I'd heard so many people be like, it's one of the best games. It's so good.
Yeah.
Bounced off it like it was nothing.
It just felt rough.
It's definitely one of those games where I think it helps if you go in with the mindset that the game is really meant to be hard.
Yeah.
And play different. It's not a power fantasy, right? Mm-hmm. It's a survival fantasy. It's a sad Russian game. It's you know, it's like a pathologic version of a shooter. It's not meant to be going guns blazing.
Yeah.
I've been looking into the new one. It looks good. I've seen good things about it, but I haven't played it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd really recommend it to most people, to be honest, because like you just said, it is not a power fantasy. And I was really I think I hopped into it because I was like, damn, I haven't played a FPS in a while. And I started defaulting to that power fantasy style of gameplay of just running in, trying to shoot everything. But it's like 3 shots, you're fucking dead. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. You have to be so strategic about it. Even when you're playing on easy, it's kind of insane that it's forcing you into this challenge, and there's no other options. Like there's no difficulty slider type thing. It's just like, what was it? Like Stalker. There's just 3 options, and I'm playing on rookie, and it was still goddamn challenge.
I heard that, and I don't know if this was true, but I heard that in some of the older games, the difficulty was when the difficulty was lower, bullets were reduced in damage just across the board. So enemies did less damage, but also you did less damage to the enemies. Which then made enemies feel like bullet sponges too.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've heard a lot of people say like I forget which Stalker. Once again, it's been a while since I played it, but one of them you're supposed to play on the hardest difficulty if you want the enemies to die in any reasonable amount of time. which is interesting.
Yeah, that's a concept.
Yeah.
That's certainly a choice for game design.
Mm-hmm. And when it's a game that's all about like conserving ammo and resources, I imagine that using all of your bullets on one dude is probably pretty bad.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that was another thing too. It was like I was struggling to find ammo. I didn't come across a vendor yet that was selling it. So yeah. How many hours in are you at this point, Joe? Roughly
Like 9 or 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was like a 20-hour main story if you're just mainlining it. Is that
One review said 50? I don't know if that includes the
50?
side quests. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a long game.
Oh, hell no. Yeah. It's so funny because it's like Metaphor Refantasio, 90 hours. Totally fine. A 50-hour FPS that emphasizes survival mechanics and the difficulty is a bit of a harder pill to swallow, I think, for me. But okay. Brandon, was there any other game you wanted to chat about? I'm sorry, I don't know if I asked you that. I know you said Void Crew, and then we talked about Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, I've been playing Marvel Rivals, Void Crew. I'll give a shout out to a game that I was playing a little bit with a buddy of mine called For the King. Specifically For the King 2. It's a fun little game where you're basically playing a D&D campaign. Modified rules. It's not Dungeons and Dragons affiliated, but you pick your starting class, you find gear, loot. Your party members can spread out and run into their own troubles in and around the map.
Yeah.
Hard to explain more than that, but it's fun. It's a fun little game. It's nothing amazing. It's not revolutionary. It's not special, but I've had a lot of fun with it over the years, going back to it and playing campaign with friends.
I felt like I've only heard of it. I haven't really looked too deep into it. Do you make the campaign yourself? Is there like a DM who's crafting it?
No. So it's just like there's a pre-generated campaign where it's going to play out the same every single time, but the things that you like, the map will change. The things that you encounter will slightly change depending on what you see.
Okay.
So like, how do I put it? Let's say that you are starting out a campaign. You choose in For the King 2, one of 5 different like modules. And then that module always has the same story. You got to protect the tree. You got to infiltrate the castle. You got to do this, do that, the other thing. But then the enemies that you fight, the dungeons, the map layout, and what enemies or where different like towns and like there will be tiles where, oh, there might be something really good here for you, but you got to pass a skill check. All that stuff will be randomized.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah. So that makes it seem like it's a unique experience every time you play a campaign. That's cool. I could always appreciate that. Yeah. It seems like you said you were playing with friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it does also have Steam Remote Play Together. Although, honestly, if you're going to do that, just stream and have them tell you what to do with their character.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a hassle sometimes to get Remote Play Together working without lag, depending on your connections.
I can see that.
But co-op. It has local co-op too for couch co-op if you wanted to.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. This seems like a quirky, charming game.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I can see how you have a fun time with it. Yeah. For myself, like I said, haven't been playing too much. We played Marvel Rivals the other day. I've continued to really enjoy that game, even though I'm not like playing it too often. It feels like I'm only playing it whenever someone else is playing it, but that game just feels great to play. And it feels like there's so many different and unique characters because the Marvel list of heroes is so vast. So they could continuously pull in more and give maybe some voice and some screen time for some random ass hero like Squirrel Girl. Like I had no idea who she was.
Put some respect on Doreen Green's name, all right?
My bad.
Squirrel Girl in the comics, I'm not a huge comic book nerd, but I do think that her comic run is particularly funny because in like the lore of Doctor Doom, he has never lost. He has been like defeated, but it was like all part of his plan. And if they did finally catch him, it was a Doom bot and it wasn't actually him or whatever it is. There is a comic where Squirrel Girl defeats Doctor Doom. And
what?
One of the Watchers, which is like the omniscient people in the Marvel universe that know the true things of everything. They see the world for exactly what it is. Comes down and leans over to Squirrel Girl, is like, yes, I can confirm that this is the real Doom and not one of his Doom bots. You've defeated him. Congratulations.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the only character that I know of to have done that.
How is her power just like that great? Because I
No.
Okay.
No, she has all the powers of a squirrel.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. Why did I ask such a stupid question? I have such a elementary knowledge of Marvel, mostly because the only stuff I've engaged with of Marvel's is the movies and then some of the video games. Yeah, so this is the first time for me hearing about Squirrel Girl. I had no idea she got a congratulations from one of the gods themselves for defeating Doctor Doom.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeff the Shark is another random hero to me. Maybe he's had a pretty extensive.
He's a fan favorite as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a big fan favorite. He has this comic run. My buddy, who's way more into comics, was explaining the deep Jeff lore. But yeah,
the deep state
popular.
Jeff lore. Hell yeah.
Yeah. But exactly what you said, you know, your experience of seeing these weird, waggy characters and just how deep and wide the pool of Marvel's been going on for damn near 50 years now, probably
half a century more. Yeah. And all of the characters they can pull on, and there's always going to be somebody that's been like, oh wow, I didn't realize this character was in the universe, and I really vibe with this character. You know, let me look into a bit more of their backstory, and I'm sure comic sales have gone up as a result of this game. Yeah.
Another cool thing I appreciate about Marvel Rivals is when there's a costume for a character, they try to always pull from the comics if possible. And they'll even say what issue that costume first appeared in.
So
you can go back and be like, oh, this costume's interesting. Oh, it's from a comic. Oh, what's the storyline of that comic?
That's really awesome.
You know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love when they put little like nods and like callbacks and include their like references so that you could go and check it out yourself. I feel like, wasn't there another Marvel game that did that recently? Was it in Spider-Man? No, they didn't do that in Spider-Man 2. I feel like there's some Marvel game that kind of did that. Maybe it was Avengers. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, so I've been playing that, having a fun time with it. I would still love to stream that whenever we get the chance. And other than that, speaking of streams, the only other game I've been playing has been Silent Hill 2 Remake. And that's been hella fun. I think playing that on stream is actually making it a bit more, it's enhancing the experience to me because like during the down part, because you know it's a horror, it's not survival, it's like a horror adventure game, and there's going to be some downtime between like running between certain areas to try and solve puzzles, find items, do whatever. And it's been really nice to just chat with people during those times. And when I'm in those moments, those like horror filled moments, like when I was in the apartment just in the stream the other day, and like you turn a corner and there's, I don't know, several monsters just facing you. It's like maybe I'm reacting more because I'm on stream, but everything feels more intense because like maybe it's also because I have the headphones on. So yeah, I feel so immersed, and I'm just like, okay. And then I hear just like a little footstep or creak or something, like, oh shit, what is that? And yeah, I've been having a great time with the game. I think they do a fantastic job at the sound design of that to really make you feel that immersion, because you just get these like creepy ass whooshes and weird noises, and things sound grimy as you like take steps, and they sound squishy and nasty, and I love it. It's enhancing my experience with this game. I am so glad that, Joe, you were there for the first boss fight that I had the first time. Yeah. Has everyone played Silent Hill 2? Not even the remake, just the original? No. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I have never played the original even. This is my first experience with Silent Hill. So during the first boss fight, you're fighting Pyramid Head for, I'm assuming, going to be the first time. I'm sure he's going to come back again later. But I had like 42 bullets, and I'm just like, oh shit, I might need these bullets later on for a harder thing. But Joe was like, stop being stingy, just shoot him. Yeah. For real. Yeah. I was like, okay, yeah. And then I just went to town on him. I think the reason why I thought the bullets weren't doing shit was because I didn't see any sort of indicator that I was doing any damage to him. other than he starts like attacking faster or power walking faster and stuff. And it was like once I saw that he was getting more aggressive and angry, then I realized that, oh, actually I'm doing something. So he's getting angrier. I must be hurting him a little bit. Yeah, that plus some of the puzzles. It's funny because I feel like I'm really good at solving in-game puzzles. Joe knows from when we stream Alan Wake 2 and I am able to solve some obscure ass thing in there. But the puzzles in this game keep on tripping me up because I think I'm thinking too hard about them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to analyze them from a crazy aspect, but then in reality, it's like, no, bro, just count the number of skulls on these moths and add that up. Like, you don't need to dive too deep into it. Just count the number. So it's nice having the chat kind of reel me back in and help me focus. Cause I think for some games and some puzzles in video games, if you don't have the logic to solve it, and if you don't get there like yourself, if you can't like get into their logic and meet the game at its level, it almost feels like you're never going to get it unless you look it up, unless you look up how to solve that specific puzzle. So what I really like about having the chat is just having someone kind of nudge you without giving you the full answer. And yeah, so that's been very helpful. And I definitely want to keep on playing that game on stream. I think because I've done it twice now, I've kind of committed to only playing it on stream, but that's okay with me. It's just been such a great time. Other than that, so not a game, but it's kind of related to a video game. I recently started watching the anime Solo Leveling. Has anybody seen it or read it? Heard of it? Okay, yeah, I'm seeing two nods. Joe, have you seen it or heard of it?
I've heard it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I haven't watched it. No.
It's like this other game I played called Dungeons of Hinterberg, where you're in this real world setting, or at least in the anime, it's like real world Japan. But then all of a sudden, monsters unlock in the world, and like dungeons open up, and they have to go into dungeons and fight the monsters and beat the boss in order to close the dungeon. Otherwise, a boss monster will come, or monsters will come out from the dungeon and into the real world. So because of that, you just got people who also unlocked magic and different rankings of magic. So it feels like a video game. Pretty much the more I'm describing, the more it sounds like a video game. And they totally call to it because the main character, something happens in the very first or second episode where they unlock essentially a menu for their life. And then they start like beating stuff. They level up, and then they gain items, and they could like allocate their stats all like in real life. And it made me just want to play like an RPG like that, but I don't know what I'm looking for. Is Monster Hunter this game? Like maybe not so much this.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No, no, you don't have stats.
Right.
Monster Hunter,
It's
you
the equip.
kill a monster. The stats all come from your weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
You take the
And the
monster,
armor.
you put it
Yeah.
on you, and you're stronger. Well, you could take more hits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Because yeah, I mean,
Go back and play Fallout New Vegas again
yeah,
if you haven't.
I only
on
ever
Game Pass.
started it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
You haven't beaten Fallout New Vegas?
I know.
Yeah, go and play that game. It's really good. It holds up, and yeah, the graphics are a little bit dated. Some of this game systems are a little dated, but the actual like game and the world and the quests and the story all very relevant even to this day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was honestly my backup game for Stalker too. I downloaded Fallout New Vegas.
There you go. Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
played
I
it?
played
It's a
that
great
game like
game. I go back and replay it every
10
couple of
times.
years.
yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Memo, are you on this train too? The Fallout New Vegas train?
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
All right. Well, if anyone can think of, I guess, another fantasy-ish game that will kind of also scratch this niche, let me know. You don't need to tell me right now. But in the meantime, I will definitely download Fallout New Vegas, try it out. I think it's been maybe 10 plus years since I started and tried it. So I truly do not remember a thing from that game. So this will be like a fresh experience for me. And
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
cool. All right. That's a good sign. Cool. Were there any other games anybody else wanted to chat about before before we wrap it up ish?
No, I think I'm good. I mean, I've been reading Bleach, so that's been fun.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. How
it's been a good time.
have you been where are you? Has everyone here
Chapter
watched?
106. Yeah, I don't know of anyone.
Does anyone watch Bleach? No.
No.
Okay. Spoilers for Bleach, then, I guess, right now for a old ass manga. What's happening?
Fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ichigo's fighting Kenpachi. You know, the guy with the iPad.
Okay.
Trying to save Rukia. Yeah. I mean, it's old school, manga. Someone recommended it to me. They're like, you should read Bleach. I'm like, okay, that's a long manga, right? Because made it through One Piece. I like having these long mangas.
Yeah.
Just to work on them throughout the year. I'll read a couple chapters here, maybe when I'm meal prepping, maybe when I'm working out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something to read. Been having a good time with it.
Nice. Yeah, my fiance will be happy to hear that because that's her favorite like manga anime thing. So I'll let her know. Yeah, right now we just finished the latest season of Bleach and it's on the final arc, but it split up like kind of like Attack on Titan did. It's just like 3 parts. It's like part 3 second half, part 3 first half, and shit like that. So I'm just like, oh my god, can we just, I don't know, call it a different season at this point? Like I don't see the point of splitting everything up to this minute level. But it's a cool one. Awesome. Well, like we started in the last year, I always like to end the Scatterbrains with a little bit of an article of the week. So this week, the article I found, like the journal scholarly research article, was titled Video Games for Wellbeing. And this is just like a systematic review of the application of video games on how well it can contribute to cognitive or emotional improvements in the adult population. So I think they found that there's a bunch of research that's done in children and then in the elderly, but they wanted to see how it affects just, pretty much anyone not in that age groups, in those 2 age dynamics. And they found that just like with the elderly and with the children, there are cognitive and emotional benefits and improvements that can be seen while playing video games in all populations. So yeah, if anyone says video games aren't good for you, they're lying. In particular, the action games tend to help the most with cognitive and emotional improvements. So play your video games, people. It helps you grow as a person. But yeah, I'll include the link to the research there.
Doctors recommend.
Closest thing to it. Yeah, it was funny. Memo read it before and texted me that he actually did a study like this in elementary school. Like, what was it again? I just wanted like a quick rundown.
Yeah, I mean, what would it call it? A study? As a kid. We were trying to justify video games. People, I think it was 2003, 2004, people were against, whatever. They had their critiques on video games. So pretty much we did a simple test of, if you play video games, we're going to drop a ruler, see if you can catch it and see how long it took you to catch it,
Uh-huh.
I don't remember the results. I do remember using cover art of Sonic Heroes, all the PS2 games. So that was like I just remember when I read the article, it reminded me of that I did like a very minuscule, tiny, not as well written analysis on that, trying to justify why video games could be good for you. And I think don't remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure gamers had faster reactions. I definitely did compared to others. So it's, again,
that's awesome
stuff, trying to get through and trying to bring video games to my homework.
That's so cool though. Hell yeah. Hopefully you shut up whatever haters were in your life at that point then, just with that study. Well, that's awesome. All right, y'all. Well, thank you all so much for listening. Once again, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and rate and review the podcast on whatever listening app you're using. And be sure to follow us on all the social media. We got that Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, all of it. I'm still putting out videos, or working on a video for YouTube, a longer video for Metaphor. It's probably going to clock around 20 minutes or so. Yeah. And also, if you have the financial means to do so, please subscribe to our Patreons. It's going to be $1 a month. And if you sign up, you will get a sticker. They finally arrived. So nice. I'll go ahead and send you a little sticker as a thank you for signing up. And Memo made some shirts. So we're going to see. I'll pick those up on Thursday. And yeah. Then we'll see if, we'll see how they look, see what they're like. And if anybody wants them, I'll figure something out. I'll post them like on the Patreon or something to sell or whatnot. But anyways, everyone, take good care of yourselves. Thank you for listening. And we will catch you again next week. Bye, everybody.
Good one.
Yeah. See ya.